Tonight is the first of the Show the Facts debate, and this is a result of State Senator Bill Heath challenging his runoff opponent, Bill Heath, to Show the Facts debate in each county in Senate District 31. And if I could read from the press release as far as the format for this evening and for the subsequent 2 evenings. Each debate will begin at 7 p.m. and will last for 1 hour. Each candidate will be given 20 uninterrupted minutes to provide factual and documented information about their records and the records of their opponents. After each candidate has presented their information, they then will be given 10 minutes of rebuttal time. The order will be chosen by the coin toss at the start of the debate. And the debates are scheduled as such for this evening here, then tomorrow evening, Tuesday, August 7th, at the Cherry Blossom Room in Harrison County at the Sewell Mill, and then Thursday evening, the Walmart Community Center in Polk County. So with only the incumbent Senator Bill Heath here this evening, we want to stay with the format that we have, and we're going to ask, of course, therefore there will be no rebuttal, no coin toss, etc. But we're going to offer the first of these 20 minutes to Senator Heath for his remarks, and then we will adjourn. We ask that if you do have any questions for any of the candidates, they be given to the candidates directly through their website or whatever method. But we do want to stick with the format, which was simply these 2 20-minute segments followed by 2 10-minute rebuttal segments with adjournment. So we're going to turn the floor over to State Senator Bill Heath.
Thank you, Steve. And thank you all for coming here. I think that this is very important that you have an opportunity to meet the candidates. Last Thursday evening, after the runoff was on, or the election was on Tuesday, I guess Wednesday we started putting together venues, trying to find the venues and get them reserved and work around those schedules. Thursday evening I was able to issue the challenge to Bill Heath, my opponent, to come to a debate where you all could actually hear us each defend the allegations that we've made against one another, to point out what we've done, what we have to offer. It's a little more than just a forum where somebody draws questions out of a fishbowl, so to speak, and oftentimes those questions are chosen to be sure you don't embarrass anyone. I do want to thank Steve Graddick for agreeing to, kind of at the last minute, agreeing to come and moderate the debate. Jim Galloway with the AJC had agreed to do this, but only if Bill Heath would come here. So when he told me that he wouldn't be here, then Galloway said, well, I'm not coming out there to moderate you speaking. So maybe if we can get a commitment, he will moderate a subsequent debate. So I'm going to attempt to do tonight what I would have done if my opponent had been here. I want to go through the claims that he's made about me, the statements that I've made about him, and talk a little bit about my record. So I'll run through these things pretty quickly because I really haven't timed this to see how long it takes to go through this, but I'll run through these quickly. Heath has had mail pieces that hit me on accepting meals and event tickets and gifts from lobbyists. It is true that I, like probably every other legislator, has had opportunities where we would have a meal with a lobbyist or accept some kind of gift. There's oftentimes we go into the chamber and there's something sitting in your chair or on your desk. It's given to every legislator. I've certainly done those things. I don't deny that. The law requires that those be disclosed, and they're available to you on the ethics website. I find it interesting that he chooses to hit me on that, because while on the DNR board, he did all those same things. He accepted very expensive hunting trips to elaborate hunting preserves, and oftentimes went hunting and fishing at the taxpayer's expense. So for him to imply that he would not do those things is a little bit disingenuous. I will also say that he hit me on accepting contributions from lobbyists. He himself did the very same thing. His disclosures are online. His very first disclosure, I know, listed a number of lobbyists who had contributed to his campaign. So I feel like that's a little bit disingenuous. I will also say that for those of you who know me, you know that I could care less about going to a ball game or certainly to a hockey game. Those are just not my thing. I do some of that stuff to learn as much as I can about all the issues, and I spend as much time as I can with the people of the district. He accuses me in some of his mail pieces of raising taxes on every hospital stay. He cites HB 307. I would encourage you to go look up HB 307. I believe that was 2010. HB 307 originated in the House. It was a straight-up tax increase. It came to the Senate, and we added on to that an elimination of the premium tax on insurance, which is a 2.25% tax that you pay on all insurance that you buy. That's the state portion of premium insurance tax, and we eliminated that when we passed the bill in the Senate. The House never took that bill up again, so that bill did not pass. He accuses me of raising sales taxes. I will tell you, and if you'll think about this, you're paying the same sales tax today that you were 10 years ago. We have not raised sales taxes, not one time. Now, I think that he is referring to House Bill 277, which was the bill that created the Transportation Improvement Act. That was the T-SPLOS that we all voted on last Tuesday. That was an issue that was very debated very hotly. A lot of the local politicians wanted that. They wanted that money. And it went on for a number of years. We finally agreed to put it on a ballot and let you all vote on it. And you all voted just as I hoped that you would, just as I believed that you would, that you didn't want to pay more taxes. I understand that. I understood it then. And I think it makes a very good point for those who want to talk about raising taxes in the future, that the people of Georgia are not interested in that. He accuses me of raising fees on your driver's license. He cites HB 1055 from 2008, which actually has nothing to do with driver's licenses. But there was an HB 1055 in 2010, which did deal with driver's license. And what it did was it had a portion in there that was required by the Real ID Act, which is coming out of Washington, required us to not issue licenses for more than 8 years. We made that change. We went from a maximum 10-year license to an 8-year license, and we cut the fee from $35 to $32. He accuses me of raising dozens of fees. Those fees that are in that bill are fees that have never been or had not been addressed for decades. When we provide a service for a fee, and that fee doesn't cover the cost to provide that service, you all get to subsidize that. So we did go through and attempt to correct the fees to reflect the cost to provide those services. He states that I admitted under oath to stalking his house and his daughter's Facebook pages. I don't know when it got to be stalking for you to drive down a public street or a public road, never stopping. But many of you, some of you all who are in this room tonight, there was probably 50 to 100 people in Paulding County came to me and said, Bill Caruth doesn't live in your district. And so, under oath, while at the challenge for residency, I did state that I had driven by his house a number of times, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and observed that the lights were on. Now that to me indicates someone's staying there. That was the extent of that. That's what he calls stalking. He refers to me stalking his daughter's Facebook pages. his daughter sent me a friend request. I could care less about Facebook in general. Those of you who are friends with me, you get happy birthday wishes, and it is a way to communicate. But, his daughter friended me. When the residency challenge got wound up, some folks that live right here in Paulding County said, listen, you got to go to his daughter's Facebook page. On that page are pictures from Christmas and Easter that were celebrated at his home outside the district. Now, why is that significant? Because a few years ago, whenever Mike Crotts was running for a Senate race, that he was in a similar situation. He didn't live in the district, and there was a challenge, and the judge asked Mike Crotts, where did you spend Christmas? When he said that he spent Christmas in his house that was not in the district, he was disqualified. So that's the relevancy of the Facebook stalking. He also accuses me of illegally coordinating with an anonymous PAC. Now, you all, I assume, got the mail pieces that he's referring to. I've got them up here if you'd like to see them. It does have a return address stating paid for by the Georgia Republican Senate Caucus Promotion PAC. Now, prior to receiving that mail, I had never seen that phrase before. I got the mail just like you all did. It was supporting me. I'm wound up in a campaign. I don't care who's saying what, especially when it's good for me. There was a bill passed a few years ago that I didn't particularly care for, but it was passed in the name of First Amendment rights. It said you don't even have to disclose who's putting signs up or providing advertisement, those kind of things. I don't know how you associate me with that. If in fact there was an illegal PAC, it had nothing to do with me, I may have benefited from it, but in order for me to be doing anything wrong, I've got to coordinate with them, and I couldn't even tell you who it is or who authorized it or anything about that. So that was an ethics claim, ethics charge that was supposedly filed like on Friday before the election, kind of a last minute thing. We have called the Ethics Commission a number of times trying to verify whether the charge was even filed with the Ethics Commission, and we haven't been able to get them to commit to that. He also incorrectly states that I said that I would vote against the lottery if given a chance. I never said that. Right here in this room, the question was asked, do you support casino gambling? I said I was opposed to gambling and that I was opposed to the lottery, but I have never opposed Hope. I voted a number of times to support Hope. And I can tell that I'm running out of time, so I'm going to move along. I will tell you that I voted for 3 different bills to support and protect Hope's scholarship. House Bill 561 in 2006, Senate Bill 480 in 2007, and House Bill 326 in 2011. Statements I've made about Caruth. I have provided documentation on Paulding.com for every claim that I've made. Every statement that I've made is 100% factual. For those of you who know me, you know that I strive to be truthful in everything that I do. When we started our campaign in April, we heard from all kinds of folks about the problems associated with Bill Caruth. I have not spread rumors. We have researched the records and provided voters with facts relevant to this election, and we have not used some of the information we discovered out of respect for his family and friends. We did find through our research that he has defaulted on loans to the tune of a little over $20 million. Those are defaulted loans. I don't know how much money he owes, but those are where he didn't meet his commitments to repay the loan, and there were lawsuits filed. One of those was the $2.35 million judgment that the FDIC got against him. He didn't even show up in court to contest it. They got a default judgment and a writ of execution. So you can take that off the $20 million. That's no longer in the court system. He's also settled one of the cases, and you can take that off. He is currently in default and being sued for a little over $15 million. We have pointed out that he has over 244 tax liens against him. The AJC ran an article on 7/22, and stated that he had over $300,000 in tax liens, and he alone accounted for over 1/3 of all the tax liens for all of the candidates for the legislature. He lied to you in 1990 when he ran for county commissioner as a Democrat. He stated, "I will not support any increase in property taxes during my term as your commissioner." That was in his ad in the Dallas New Era on July the 12th, 1990. In 1992, he made the motion to raise the millage rate. In 1993, he made a motion to raise the millage rate. Both of these passed, by the way. In 1994, he didn't make the motion, but again, he voted for a millage rate increase. So you can't trust what he tells you. What's my record? I've served on the Finance Committee for 8 years. I got to do that because of being a pretty solid conservative, fiscal conservative. I introduced an amendment to the state constitution to get the state completely out of the ad valorem tax. That's SR 1287 from 2010, if you'd like to look that up. We voted on it in the Senate. It takes 2/3 of the Senate to pass a constitutional amendment, and we didn't have the votes. That failed. Later that year, we were able to incorporate the same measure in another bill, but we phased out the state property tax at 1/5 of the quarter mill each year. I co-chaired the Joint Committee on Tax Reform, which was responsible for the following tax cuts. We eliminated the marriage penalty, eliminated sales tax on energy used in manufacturing. We eliminated the birthday tax on your automobiles. We provided for 2 sales tax holidays for back-to-school items. That'll be occurring this weekend, by the way. And 2 sales tax holidays for energy-efficient appliances. I mentioned the Hope Scholarship to you. I gave you those bills earlier. I'll also say to you that I made proposals to both the governor's office and to the Senate Higher Ed Committee for ways to protect hope forever. I've been endorsed by many conservative groups: the NRA, GeorgiaCarry.org, Georgia Gun Owners, Georgia Right to Life, the National Federation of Independent Businesses, the American Conservatives Union, Americans for Prosperity, and the Georgia Chamber. We passed a zero-based budgeting bill to require government to go through systematically and look at everything we're doing and start over from scratch, evaluating all your expenditures there. I have voted for, and we've passed strong ethics legislation. I believe government should be as small as possible and impose as low a tax as possible so that you can invest your hard-earned tax dollars as you see fit. I believe that the fairest tax is a consumption tax or a sales tax. I fully support the fair tax on a national level. I will tell you that if we try to fund all of state government with a sales tax, our tax rate will exceed that of all the states joining us, and we'll lose business to folks that cross over the border. But I fully support a sales tax as a way to fund government. I think taxes should be simple and fair. You need to understand what you're paying. And I suspect that that's close to the end of my 20 minutes. I've rushed through it now, so I will sit down. I will tell you that one of the things that has been going on, and I have resisted it to a certain extent, is there's a pledge that Common Cause has, a very liberal organization, Common Cause has posted a pledge and encouraged legislators and candidates to sign a pledge saying that they would vote for a bill that had language in it saying lobbyists couldn't have gifts greater than $100. That is a very risky pledge to sign. The way that their pledge is written, if I sign that and they put that sentence in any bill, then I've committed to vote for it. I don't think that's what you want me to do. You want me to exercise responsibility in everything that I do and to make intelligent decisions on the legislation that I vote for. So I have drafted a pledge that says, let me read it to you. This pledge says, I, Bill Heath, pledge to have drafted a bill with the help of legislative counsel, which will make it unlawful for a lobbyist to make a gift to a public officer where the value of the gift exceeds $100. I will introduce such bill on the first legislative day of 2013. This is my commitment to you, the voters. I will not have a noose around my neck by some liberal organization to do whatever they choose for me to do. I'm going to sign this here tonight. I want you to know that I'm committed to ethics reform. I've always said I was committed to meaningful ethics reform. I'll sign this as soon as I sit down, and I want to thank you. This is a great crowd. A little awkward, I suppose, to have a challenge for a full-fledged debate. We do have these debates going on tomorrow night and Thursday night in Bremen and Rothbard. If by chance Mr. Caruth will accept this challenge and meet me there, I would ask you to make a little trip and come hear the debate there. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you everyone for coming. You see what the format will be for the next 2 evenings. We invite you again to come tomorrow evening, Sewell Mill in beautiful downtown Bremen, Georgia, the Cherry Blossom Room in Harrelson, and that's tomorrow night at 7. Hopefully everyone will be able to make that. Again, thank you for coming. Drive safely, and we are adjourned.